And I am back. I'm Scott, and this is going to be the first Two Guys, One Scale review. So I guess one guy, one review. We've talked about this quite a bit on the podcast. This has not been a cheap hobby. We've got new bikes, the events cost money, traveling to get to these events that we do. But overall, it's been great. One thing I kind of want to do now that we're coming to close on the year is just switch up the channel just a little bit. We're still going to have the podcast every week, but I thought it would be fun to do some reviews on different things that we use, especially when it comes to fitness. So, we've talked about many times before, a good set of headphones. I use Beat Studio Pros when I go running or walking. It's great to, listen to music or audiobooks or even make phone calls. And I have AirPod Pros that I do use for when I bike. I've kind of sweated them up so much that they don't really work very well anymore, unfortunately. And one thing we've talked about multiple times is we really want something to be able to listen to music, or me especially audiobooks while I'm swimming, because it does get pretty repetitive just swimming back and forth with your own thoughts, especially while training. I don't need anything during a race, but while training would be great. So today, what I wanted to talk about is the Shokz OpenSwim Pro waterproof headphones. These are actually Charles's headphones. He got them, but him and technology don't mix very well. And I don't know if anyone's ever looked into this before, but Bluetooth headphones do not work underwater because Bluetooth is technically light and water reflects light. And so it doesn't work super well, the Bluetooth function. So you got to load audiobooks or music or whatever you want to listen to onto these to listen to while you're swimming. So I'm going to test that out today. These are IP68 waterproof rated. So that means they can go up to 6.5 feet deep. So not planning on taking these scuba diving or anything, but I'm going to give these a shot. I'm in the middle of loading an audiobook onto this, which I will get into here in just a little bit. But for now, let's dive into this. All right, so I'll just dive into my first impressions real quick. It does come with this nice carrying case here. Seems like it's fairly waterproof, I would imagine. No, there's holes in it, but they're waterproof themselves. Why does it matter? But it's just a nice way to keep everything together. You got your headphones, and then you also have the charging cable, which is proprietary, unfortunately. So that means you can't really misplace it. If you can see there, that is how you charge it. And it plugs in right there underneath the volume and power controls. But just initially, I really like the color. I like the orange and gray. It kind of goes along with the Apple Watch Ultra, which I'm a big fan of, even though the more we talk to people in the triathlon community and fitness, everyone really is pushing for us to move to Garmin. I am just so ingrained in the Apple ecosystem. My entire house is an Apple smart home. I could do a billion reviews and stuff like that. So if anyone wants to see that, just let me know. But they do feel very nice. These are not inexpensive. I think they're $200 normally, but they are on sale right now. No, they're $179.95 normally. They are on sale right now for $159.95. So I can have a link to that in the description below. But let's see if I think it's worth the money. I did try them on earlier. They are very comfortable. You almost don't even notice that they're there. And also they don't slip. So like if you're running, I've had my AirPods fall out. This Beat Studio Pros are great, but they are big and clunky. I'm looking forward to giving these a shot. Like I said, these are Charles, but these are on my Christmas list, Steffi. So I would like a pair of these for my own, but I am going to load an audiobook onto this to go swim here at the Y in just a little bit. So I will dive into that here next. Okay, so I got them paired with my phone, kind of played with the Bluetooth function a little bit. I've never used bone conduction, like open ear headphones like this before. So it felt a little weird, to be honest. They're very comfortable. The sound quality isn't, if you're expecting like Beats or AirPods or AirPod Max or whatever, you're not going to get like the super deep basses or anything like that. It's obviously going to do the job. These are more focused on, while you are working out. So it's not going to be like the best sound quality. So if you're expecting that, I don't necessarily think this is what you need to look at, but any really, really nice headphones, it's not going to be made for swimming, which these are. While playing around with the app, I haven't loaded anything onto it yet. I was playing around with all the functions. There is no way to fast forward or rewind in the app or with the headphones themselves. So you can adjust the volume with these buttons right here. This is the power button on the top, and it also serves as the volume button. And then this button right here can go forward to the next track. So it'll be great when you've got them on to just tap to go forward to the next track. But audiobooks, the one I'm listening to right now, is 14 hours and 35 minutes. So loading that onto here and trying to find where I'm at is going to be difficult. So what I did is I downloaded this program called Libation. And basically it took a book out of my Audible and it downloaded it and it split it up into chapters. So I'm going to share my screen here so you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. So as you can see, this is the app Libation. These are all my sweet sci-fi books and some Harry Potter. But I am listening to the Silo Saga. I'm in the middle of book 2. Actually, I'm almost at the end. So I downloaded that. It converted it to MP3, so I'll be able to get it on here pretty easily. But then it also split them up into chapters. I am on chapter 81. So I started right here. And I'm just going to put the rest on there. Obviously I'm not going to get through the rest of these chapters today while I'm swimming, but I am excited to give this a shot. A little disappointed there's no way to fast forward when you're in MP3 mode or even in Bluetooth mode without going into I was streaming music from Apple Music earlier. You can fast forward like normal, but when you're playing off the MP3s in here, you can still control it with your phone, but you can only go to the next track. There's no fast forwarding or seeking where you want to play it at. So that is a feature. I'm sure they'll be able to do some sort of update in order to add that functionality, because I think it would be really nice. Because basically what I'll have to do now is, if I'm listening to an audiobook, I'll have to delete all the files off of it and just start it at where I'm at each time, just load new files onto it. It's not a huge inconvenience. It'll just be a couple minutes once I get this process down. But so far, that is one little bit of a drawback. But, from everything I'm seeing out here, these are the best in the business as far as it comes to waterproof headphones for swimming. So that's just one feature I would really, really like to see. Okay, so I just got back from workout. It's much later in the day. I went much later than I had anticipated to go swimming, and it was packed. So I was going to bring my phone with me and get some video of me swimming laps. I don't know how many people would necessarily want to see a whale swimming around in a pool, but there were so many people there, I would have felt very awkward doing it. But the headphones, the pros, the sound was better than I had expected in the water. One thing that if you're going to get these for swimming, which, if you're going to be by the OpenSwim Pros, I would imagine you are going to be, get a pair of these. They are little silicone earplugs. It's nice because you don't get water in your ears, and it makes the audio actually hearable. Because I would imagine if I was not wearing those, you would not be able to make out anything, especially with an audiobook, which is mainly just, obviously somebody talking. But there were some hiccups. I loaded the files for my audiobook that I converted off of Audible onto the headphones, and I got to the gym, and I'll show you here on the screen here. I clicked on MP3 mode and it said nothing was loaded. Nothing was loaded. So that was a little frustrating. You know, I'm not a boomer or anything. I'm pretty good with technology, so I'm not entirely sure what happened there. So let me dig into that, and I will be back with you here in just a minute. Okay, so I did this on my iMac, and as you can see, the program converted them to M4B each chapter, which is great that it's in chapters, but Shokz does not listen to that. It doesn't work. So I used cloudconvert.com, and I changed it from M4B to MP3, and I converted that one, downloaded it. As you can see, I'm selecting that one here, and I basically just drag it over to the Shokz folder, the Swim Pro. It's on there, hit eject, and everything worked perfectly after that. So definitely glad that I got that figured out there. Now that I have that straightened out, I am going to give them another whirl here tomorrow. But overall impressions, I do think this thing is kind of a game changer. It's going to make me enjoy swimming quite a bit. I will say, so since I wasn't able to get the MP3s to work when I was at the Y, I was not going to drive back here and redo it. The Bluetooth did work while I was swimming. Did it work great? Absolutely not. But as long as I kept my head like kind of out of the water, like at the very top of the water, it did work. So I would not recommend doing it that way, but I was kind of in a pinch, so it worked as well as I expected it to. When I got to the other end of the pool, away from my phone, it did cut out some. So to kind of go over like the specifications on this, I do have their website here pulled up. Like I mentioned earlier, it's IP68 waterproof rating. So anything below or above 6.5 feet, you're going to be good to go. It is super comfortable. I can barely tell I'm wearing it. I did wear it all the way home, continuing to listen to my audiobook once I got finished working out. And I was actually on the phone with Charles using these. So it does have a speaker in it as well, or microphone in it as well. So you can have conversations kind of just like AirPods or really any other Bluetooth headphones out there today. The buttons are really easy to use. I went over them a little bit earlier, but there's the up and down volume on the right side, and then there's the next track button on the actual earpiece. You can see that right here. Open ear, it doesn't get as loud as I'm used to listening, but that's probably because I have hearing damage from years and years of playing music. It does come with all this, and it does come with the earplugs as well. So that is great. I did not know that because I don't have any of this stuff because I'm just using Charles's for the moment. Yeah, as you can see here, it looks like the battery life for the OpenSwim Pro is up to 9 hours with Bluetooth and 6 hours with MP3. It takes about an hour and a half to charge. To be honest, I had it on for about an hour and a half, and it still said battery high when I turned it back on when I was playing with it. Quick charge, 10 minutes of charging gives you 3 hours. That's pretty great. And, of course, sweat and waterproof. It's also super light. Like I said, you can barely tell that you have it on. And it's silicone, plastic, and nickel titanium alloy. So really quality product. Big fan of it so far. But sound quality is about what I expected. Like I said, you're not going to be getting Beats or, a really nice pair of headphones with this. You're getting a very nice pair of waterproof headphones. And of course, my cat here, it has come onto my desk. So that's Greg for everybody. But the app is pretty intuitive. There's a nice quality product. They seem very sturdy. I was underwater with them, zero issues whatsoever besides just the Bluetooth disconnecting, but that's just due to the physics of water and Bluetooth technology. So I would recommend getting them. I think Charles is going to be really happy with them after I load music onto it because he doesn't know how. But I would hope that I get one of these for Christmas. If not, I will definitely be picking these up. I will go ahead and put a link in the description for these. The one downside I would say, I do wish they were a little bit louder. Because without the earplugs in, you can't hear a whole lot, especially if it's loud. I mean, that's the kind of the point of open ear. It makes it safer if you're running or riding your bike or whatever it is. So if you're going to be swimming, definitely get earplugs. But for on sale for $160. I say it's worth it. It's definitely it makes swimming a lot more interesting, especially when you're listening to an audiobook, but also like music would be great as well. I think that's what I'm going to try tomorrow. I do think my workout didn't go as well as I wanted it to, mainly because I haven't swam in a little while. And second, I was too focused on making sure the Bluetooth stayed connected. And I'm really into this audiobook, the Silo series. It's a series on Apple TV Plus as well. They made it into a show. It's in the middle of season 2. Great books. Check them out if you're a reader. But overall, it's definitely a thumbs up. So yeah. And I know a lot of places like Best Buy and stuff, they'll have them out so you can try them on. It is different. So you definitely hear it before buying. But go ahead, get it. It's a good one. All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching, and thanks for listening to the podcast. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we will see you soon.